Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, June 11th, and we are going to jump right into our read aloud lesson for today. Yesterday, we started reading the book, The 5 O'Clock Band, and we read the first half of the book. So if you haven't done that yet, you should go back and watch yesterday's video first. Um, and today, we are going to go through what happened at the beginning and then start reading from the middle. In front of you, you should have a piece of paper, either the paper from the distance learning folder. I'll put a link to that folder in the description underneath the video, and something to write with, a pen or pencil. Um, Probably not a crayon, but yeah, a pen or a pencil. Um, and we are going to get started. Now, the first question that I'm going to ask you today is what has happened in the story so far? Now, I'm going to flip through the pages of the first half of the book, and we're going to refresh our memory over what happened so far. And you can jot down some notes that are going to help you. Go ahead. All right, so this is the page that we left off at yesterday. This was the last page we read. So we know that at the beginning of the story, we meet this little boy named Shorty, and he's from New Orleans, and he loves to play music. He plays the trombone. Um, he loves it so much that he has formed a band with his friends called the 5 O'Clock Band. And it's called the 5 O'Clock Band because that's the time they start playing after they finish up their school and their homework. So Shorty was practicing his trombone, but he lost track of time because he was so into playing his music that he missed or he forgot to meet the 5 o'clock band at their regular time, 5 o'clock. And he got to where they were supposed to meet, and he realized that they had left without him. And he's thinking to himself that he really wants to be a band leader, but how is he going to be a band leader if he can't even meet his band at the right time? So he's walking all over the place looking for his the rest of his band members, and he runs into this guy, Tuba Treme, who tells him that to be a good band leader, you need tradition. Tradition is important to be a band leader, and Shorty waves goodbye to Tuba Treme and goes off to find his bandmates again. So you should jot down that any notes from that description that you found helpful. That there's a boy named Shorty. He plays the trombone and he plays with a 5 o'clock band. He wants to be a band leader, but he's worried that he won't be a band leader or he won't be a good band leader because he missed his band's performance. And he ran into Tuba Treme, who gave him some advice. Now we're going to see what else happens in the story. So we're going to skip these next couple slides because those were from yesterday. And we're going to get started here. Shorty continued walking through the corridor along the banks of the Mississippi River. A steamboat floated alongside him, and the steam whistles sounded. He thought about how many musicians had played on that river, even Louis Armstrong. Shorty blew his horn back to the steamboat and smiled. His growling stomach led him back toward home, but the scent of red beans and rice made him stop in his tracks. "Where you at, Shorty?" Queen Lola called out the window of her restaurant. Shorty was still feeling defeated, but no one could refuse a meal from Lola, the Creole queen, one of the best chefs in New Orleans, if not the world. "Where you at, Queen Lola?" Shorty answered as he opened the door. Queen Lola served him a heaping plate of red beans and rice along with andouille sausage, collard greens, and okra with tomatoes. She had been making this dish for over 50 years, treating everyone who came through her door like family, even Martin Luther King Jr. As Shorty dug in, he asked Queen Lola the question that was weighing on his heart. "I let my band down today, but I want to be a great band leader and make amazing music, just like you make amazing meals in your kitchen every day. How do you do it?" Queen Lola smiled wide. "Love," she said. "There's love in my food because I love every dish I make. It's my special sauce. As long as you love what you do, you will always be a success." "I don't love anything more than playing music, but this meal sure is close. Thank you, Queen Lola," Shorty said. "Come back any time, Shorty," she said. "Why don't you head back out and see if you can find your band?" So first, Shorty met Tuba Treme, who told him that he needs tradition to be a good band leader. And then he met Queen Lola, who told him that he needs love to be a good band leader. He needs to love what he does. Shorty felt a little better now that his belly was full, but he knew he still had more to learn. As he walked toward Treme looking for his band, he heard the rumbling of drums in the distance. It sounded like glorious thunder. As he turned the corner, he stood face to face with the most majestic person he'd ever seen. "We are Indians," a chant pierced through the warm, swampy air. It was the chief of the neighborhood Mardi Gras Indian tribe. Big Chief and his drummers chanted as they pounded out a rhythm. "We are Indians, Indians, Indians of the nation, whole wild creation." Shorty knew this song was a prayer that the Mardi Gras Indians sang before they marched down the streets. They believed the song would protect them on their journey as they went through the city looking for other tribes. Mardi Gras Indians only exist in New Orleans. They are a special group sacred to the city. That means that they are super special and people want to protect them. Ooh, just go up here. Here we go. "Where you at, Shorty?" Big Chief asked as his group slowed their drumming. "Where you at, Big Chief?" Shorty hollered back. "You and the tribe sound amazing. I'm actually looking for my group, the 5 o'clock band, but I need to know, what does it take to be the Big Chief?" Big Chief picked up his tambourine and shook it proudly as he looked up to the sky. "Dedication," he said. "Each year, all the Indians make new suits, hand sewn from scratch. It takes a lot of time and patience, but when we hit the streets, it's worth it. We are the soul of Mardi Gras." So Big Chief tells him that he needs dedication. That means that he needs to put a lot of time and effort into playing his music. Shorty noticed how Big Chief's suit shimmered in the light. He thought about how important it was for him to practice his craft every day in order to carry the honor of being a band leader. Suddenly, Shorty heard the familiar melody of a brass band in the distance and ran toward it. He knew those sounds could only come from the 5 o'clock band, and there were his friends parading down the avenue toward him. "Where you at?" the 5 o'clock band sang. "Where you at?" Shorty answered. Whoops. Here we go. "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you guys today. I promise I'll never let you down again," Shorty said. "But I learned that we have all the ingredients we need for success. We have dedication, we honor tradition, and most of all, we play with love. Now I know what it takes to lead. Why don't you start us off and take the lead right now, Shorty? One of the boys said. Shorty raised his horn to his lips, stepped out in front of the band, and played the opening notes of When the Saints Go Marching In. As the 5 o'clock band paraded home to Treme, they waved at the friends and neighbors who clapped their hands and danced in step behind them. And that, my friends, is the end of this story. So we are going to move on to the next question, which is, who is the second person Shorty meets while he's looking for his band? So when I'm asking this question, who is the second person Shorty meets? That I mean in the whole book, not just the second half, the whole book. So let's flip back all the way to the beginning. I'm gonna flip through the pages, and you're gonna tell me the second person that Shorty finds or meets when he's looking for his band. Go ahead. All right, so we know that Tuba Treme is the first person. So who is the second person? All right, so if we know that Tuba Treme was the first person that Shorty met, let's see who comes next. See him walking along the Mississippi River and he's playing his horn back to the steamboat. And then he comes across Queen Lola. And this is the person that he meets after Tuba Treme. So we know that Queen Lola is the second person Shorty meets while he's looking for his band. So Queen Lola is number two. So the answer to this question is Queen Lola. All right, the next question is one of those ordering questions. So let's do this. We're going to do this. And we need to put the following events in order. So we see Shorty finds his band, Shorty meets Queen Lola, Shorty meets Tuba Treme, and Shorty meets Big Chief. All right, so let's go to the beginning of the story and see which one of these happens first. All right, so here's the cover. We see that Shorty loves playing music. He's playing with his 5 o'clock band. He's going all through the town. And then he's late for meeting his band. And here we go. The first person he meets is Tuba Treme. So we see this right here. We're going to draw some brackets around this text because we know that this happened first. So let's go back here. Oops, whoa. Was not expecting that. Let's go back to this question. Put the following events in order. We know that Shorty meets Tuba Treme first, so I'm going to put a 1 here. All right, let's see what happens next. I bet a lot of us already know, but let's just make sure that we find that text evidence. So we have the brackets here. Let's see what comes next. Tells him about tradition. Those are from yesterday. Now he's walking along the Mississippi River and he blew his horn back to the steamboat and he meets Queen Lola. Is that one of these things? Oops, not the exit ticket. Is that one of these? Yes, Shorty meets Queen Lola. So we know we can put a number 2 next to Shorty meets Queen Lola. And the text evidence that we find is right here. We see, "Where you at, Shorty?" Queen Lola called out from the window of her restaurant. So we know that Queen Lola is the second person that Shorty meets. All right, now the next two events are Shorty finds his band and Shorty meets Big Chief. Which one comes next? So we see Queen Lola here giving him some good food and telling him that a good band leader needs love. He needs to be able to love what he does. So what comes next? Oh, here we go. He sees Big Chief. Where you at, Shorty? Big Chief asked as his group slowed their drumming. So here's the text evidence, and we can also see in the illustrations that Big Chief is on this paper or on this page, as well as this page over here. We know that after he meets Queen Lola, he also meets Big Chief. So we know that to put a number 3 next to Shorty meets Big Chief. Now, there's only one choice left, but we have to make sure that we can find that text evidence to make sure that that Shorty finds his band really does come last. So we have Big Chief right here. And then on the next page, we see his band. They say, "Where you at?" The 5 o'clock band sang. "Where you at?" Shorty answered. So here's our text evidence. And we see in the illustration, the 5 o'clock band is right there. And then on the next page, we're sure that this is the 5 o'clock band because Shorty says, "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you guys today. I promise I'll never let you down again," Shorty said. "But I learned that we have all the ingredients we need for success." So he's talking to his 5 o'clock band. So this we know that this is the 5 o'clock band. So we know that a 4 goes right here. So the correct order is first Shorty meets Tuba Treme, then Shorty meets Queen Lola. After that, Shorty meets Big Chief, and then Shorty finds his band last. All right, the next question is a true or false question. True or false? Shorty's band is mad at him for being late. How do you know? So you're going to say whether that is true or false, and then you're going to say how you know. So this is where he meets his band. So we're going to read these 2 pages over again. So let's go like this. We'll go like this. All right. Shorty noticed how Big Chief's suit shimmered in the light. He thought about how important it was for him to practice his craft every day in order to carry the honor of being a band leader. Suddenly, Shorty heard the familiar melody of a brass band in the distance and ran toward it. He knew those sounds could only come from the 5 o'clock band, and there were his friends parading down the avenue toward him. "Where you at?" the 5 o'clock band sang. "Where you at?" Shorty answered. "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you guys today. I promise I'll never let you down again," Shorty said. "But I learned that we have all the ingredients we need for success. We have dedication, we honor tradition, and most of all, we play with love. Now I know what it takes to lead." "Why don't you start us off and take the lead right now, Shorty?" one of the boys said. So over these last couple of pages, we see that Shorty runs into his band. He finally finds them after being late and missing their performance. But are they mad that he missed the performance? Well, on this page, one of the boys offers for Shorty to take the lead. Now, if they offered him to take the lead, does that mean that they're mad at him? No. That means that they forgive him and are giving him the opportunity to show off what he's learned and be the band leader. So, true or false? Shorty's band is mad at him for being late. That is false. And we know that that's false because his band is letting him lead. So, we know that the answer is false because the 5 o'clock band is letting Shorty lead the band. All right. Now that we've finished all of those questions, we're going to do our exit ticket. So the exit ticket today asks you, who are the three people that Shorty meet throughout his search for his band? What do each of them teach him? How do you know? Be sure to use text evidence and write in complete sentences. Your answer should be at least 4 sentences. That means that the minimum, the smallest amount that you can write is 4 sentences. But if you want to write more, by all means, write more. So, who are the three people that Shorty meet throughout his search for the band? Well, we know that they're listed on that last answer that we did, or not the last answer, this one. We see there are 4 events here, but there are 3 specific people that Shorty ran into on the way to finding his band. So we know that the first is Tuba Treme, the second is Queen Lola, and the third is Big Chief. So those are the 3 people who Shorty meets on his way to finding his band. And what do each of them teach him? He asks them what it takes to be a good band leader, and they each tell him that he needs something. Um, Tuba Treme tells him that he needs tradition, and Queen Lola and Big Chief tell him that he needs something else as well. What do all of these 3 people tell him that he needs to be a good band leader? And how do you know? We need to make sure that we're using text evidence so that you can prove your answer and write in complete sentences. All right, my friends, that is it for me today. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to your teacher. And I look forward to reading these responses. We will be back tomorrow with a new text. Bye, friends.